Should be good now. It's not. Anyways, let's start. Guys, do you have this dream to go to the space, to touch this edge of the universe, where nothing is existing between planets, stars and galaxies? Well, now you can do it by paying lots of the funds to those billionaires like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or even a Russian space program. We may call it a space tourism, and yeah, the first one I think was in Russia actually. Not the Russian himself obviously, because Russian oligarchs, they don't need this stuff. Some businessmen from abroad actually paid lots of the funds to go to the space on a Russian Soyuz. I remember his name was Tito or Tido. It was a long time ago. But now you don't need Russians because Jeff Bezos may launch you to the space very easily. Well, Bezos has his own space company, it's called Blue Origin, they're based in Texas, at least they launch their rockets from Texas. And you may say that it's kind of different compared to the Elon Musk SpaceX. I would say that it looks kind of interesting. So you have this head, the capsule of the rocket together with the crew, or it's better to say those spectaculators, people who pay the money to go into the low orbit of our planet Earth. And this is just a single stage acceleration of this capsule, that's it. Very simple construction compared to the design of Richard Branson's spacecraft, which is very complicated. This rocket really looks like something old school. So yeah, today there was one more flight with space tourists. Actually, I would like to fly there as well. I understand that it's very risky, but I would like to try. And also I trust this guy more compared to Elon Musk. He built his own empire himself. I mean, he started from the very beginning, so he has more respect compared to Elon, obviously. He even used to work in McDonald's, but now he's one of the richest guys out there. Well, today's flight was kind of remarkable because there were only female crew on board, 6 crew members, all of them females. Well, as an outcome of it, later on you'll see kind of the hilarious video, or it's better to say audio. Well, maybe you already saw it, but for me it was very interesting and funny to watch. But let's check out the crew of the spaceship. Alright, I'm gonna put myself down a little for you to see everything. So the first crew member is Lauren Sanchez. Yeah, all of the girls look absolutely great in this uniform of the Blue Origin, but they have their own call signs. This one is a double shot. Should I tell you what I think about then I heard that name? Yeah, obviously, 2-barrel shotgun, double shot. So yeah, she was born in Albuquerque, and the flight goal is to inspire kids who learn differently to reach for the stars. Kind of the good inspiration, thank you! Alright, so who we have next is Katy Perry, well-known pop star. I think that some of her songs and clips have more than 1 billion views on YouTube. It is absolutely crazy, so definitely Katy Perry rules over here if we speak about popularity. The call sign is interesting. Father. Look, I'm your father. The hometown is Santa Barbara. The items she brings to the space are bracelets for the kids at Firework Foundation. I think that the best Firework Foundation is out there in Ukraine than Ukrainian drones flying to the Russian oil refineries. Yeah, I bring something from my other channel. Well, actually it's good to have those superstars flying somewhere into the space. It definitely raises their awareness of basically kids switching from, I don't know, TikTok to astronomy. So good job Katy Perry, and she doesn't hesitate to take that risk to fly somewhere on kind of the freshly built missile, or it's better to call it a rocket. Alright, Amanda Nguyen, I hope I spelled her surname correctly. Call sign Dragon, hometown Corona. The flight goal is to uplift the Vietnamese and Southeast Asian community. Those fellas are in space already. I think they have their own separate programs, not Vietnamese, but Southeast Asians. Maybe they don't have their own program. No, those are Chinese. But part of the China is also Southeast Asia, actually. Vietnam doesn't have its own program, so yeah, definitely it's good to see you, Amanda, with Blue Origin program. As you see, we have multicultural and multi-race community there presented on that spaceship. Alright, so who we have next? Because we, I think, already discussed some of the crew members, 3 of them, as far as I remember. Aisha Booth, call sign Exuma. I think that's my favorite call sign from so far, from everyone. Exuma sounds really nice. Hometown and Arbor, me by the way of Nassau, Bahamas. Okay, Bahamas are just fantastic. I would like to attend that place. Let's see her flight goal. To conduct the science. For the first time we have the science name in this maybe even unscientific mission to reach the lower orbit of Earth and come back immediately. Alright, science in a space that will benefit humanity on Earth and inspire future generations. I wonder what scientific instrument she took with her. Was it a special program or she just spoke about science just to mention it? And you may say she doesn't look like a scientist, but no, do not judge people on their appearance. They could be really Einsteins inside, discovering some new stuff or conducting random experiments using Jeff Bezos missiles for that, or rockets. After all, what's the difference between missile and rocket? Probably rocket is better to say for the spaceship. And guys, I'm not joking, I really like this mission. I really like that it became popular, like the space billionaires, they're out there and they encourage people to go to space, to research space. And yeah, I would like to see more women flying as pilots and also as space tourists, I guess in this case. Women are fantastic. So here we have one more crew member, Gail King. Wow, awesome. Call sign Sunshine. Hometown Tennessee. I really like this name Tennessee because it has double N, double S, double E. And yeah, totally 4 letters E and just a single lonely T. Maryland, California, but the name is absolutely great. Alright, the flight goal is I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to show us all that we can face our fears and experience something incredible. It's a good inspiration. Jeff Bezos, take me also to the space. I want to step out from my comfort zone. I don't have millions of dollars to pay for you for the trip, but I have the same motivation. I want to try just for joy. So it's actually good that we have this honesty in motivation. Some say about the kids, some say about science, some say save humanity, maybe, I don't know. But she is there just for the joy. And it's actually, guys, awesome motivation. That's what I definitely like. The true honesty and, face your fears, jump into incredible events coming which you cannot foresee. And the last crew member in our list is Carrying Flying. And guys, I really envy her as a pilot, obviously, because she's always flying. And the call sign Whip. Alright, the hometown Sterling Heights, Minnesota, I guess. Flight goal is to make space for women literally and boldly. Awesome motivation, as I say to you, I do agree with that. I would like to see women elsewhere in every sort of the environments, even in the space. It's actually good, it's nice, it's sexy, it's awesome. Women should be everywhere, they're very, very nice. And yeah, we may see this women's spirit elsewhere, so journalists were women and they were taking interviews, they were filming some short clips with our crew members, but after all they were delivered to the stage, to the launching spot. Yeah, I want to be a little bigger. I understand that you'll see less, but I want to be big. Here we have just awesome cars. They're awesome not just because they look awesome, but because they're not Tesla cars. And here we have our superstars. One of the ladies look exactly like Michael Jackson in those glasses. Where's Katy? Katy is here! She's my star! Yeah, all of the crew members, they're getting into those pickup trucks and will be delivered to the launch spot. I understand that it's not the streaming, but for me, I'm excited because I haven't seen the launch myself. The launch. Yeah, they go there like... and Jeff Bezos is driving the car. It's a nice show, guys. I like this attitude. They're just awesome. And lots of the crew members, I guess, there. And people who work for Blue Origin or relatives. Yeah, nice camera angle. They're going, they're coming. Where is the missile? What do they do? I want to switch on the sound.
Access that we obviously have in being able to see these women before they go up.
Okay, so probably they're praying or something, looks like, judging on their faces. And it's actually a good thing to do. By praying, you concentrate yourself, removing the part of the fear at least. That's why the praying sometimes it's kind of important, especially if you're religious. It definitely may ease some of the harsh experience. So yeah, Katy Perry is like a boss here, like a father, your call sign.
For those of you just joining us, we are
Right, after the short parade they went off and they ring the bell. Ring the bell! Is it a tradition of Blue Origin? And I guess it's not only their tradition. Where is our father? Father, ring the bell! Yay! Then I first saw Jeff Bezos did the same. I thought like maybe he's going to fly with them because he's wearing the same looking suit, but actually not. It is the Women's Day only, and this is kind of the long gate to get into the capsule itself. And let's see how it looks. Yeah, we have the camera outside. Do we have the camera inside as well? I hope we have it. No, actually guys, we don't have the cameras, but judging on this lady, she's kind of nervous because she was closing her eyes like that. So I would be nervous as well going on this kind of the new missile somewhere. So yeah, she's damn serious. So yeah, after all, it's not the scientific mission. They've just been launched to the space, and that's it. To experience the G-load, to see the Earth from above, to understand that the Earth is not flat, as many say. Yeah, actually from this low distance, you'll not see that curve. Yeah, and yes, I wish they had the camera inside that module, because it could be very interesting to see what is happening out there. So SpaceX actually has the cameras inside their Crew Dragons, or how to call them, but here we don't have it, unfortunately. And let's watch the launch itself. Those look like the fins of the vessels after being many months in the water. The rocket itself is not maintained from outside. Well, maybe they just sprayed something on it to cool down it or something like that, because after all, this is the up-to-date technology. Let's watch it.
Command engine start. 2, 1, ignition.
Here goes. Liftoff. Yeah, someone was inside, I saw it. Yay. Oh my god, a single engine which delivers that missile really, or rocket, really further away from the ground. How far we're gonna see it? Altitude rises pretty much fast, but it's gonna be faster very soon. Have velocity and speed. Probably gonna put me a little up for you to see velocity. Yay! 400 miles an hour now. 10,000 feet. Just in less than a minute. I'm gonna see in 1 minute where they will be. Right, 1 minute 22, almost 23,000. It is crazy. Maximum dynamic pressure on the capsule itself. So they reached probably the maximum speed. No, they're increasing. Max Q is the maximum pressure on the rocket. After all, because the air is less dense, you have less pressure on the rocket. That's it. So Max Q is where the speed fits the maximum pressure of the air on missile or on rocket. You could hear it like, whoa, what is happening? So we have the audio inside the capsule recorded, not the video, but somehow we have the audio, and capsule separated at roughly 194,000 feet. And let's see what happens next. They're screaming. I'll increase the audio for you.
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent. Oprah,
Yeah, people worry. Will they reach 300,000 feet? Come on, 300,000. Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of high, guys. It's really high. 100 kilometers. That's crazy high.
Oh my god!
The audio is hilarious.
That's our pink moon! I love you, Jackson!
And just in case it wasn't clear, those are the astronauts. Those are their voices that you're hearing.
Okay, apogee is reached, and now we should go down, I guess.
Well over 345,000 feet, well over the Kármán line.
Yeah, it's great that in such a short period of time you may reach that high altitude. It's crazy. And from what I understood, the booster engine is separated, so we have two of the objects, and both capsule and the engine will return back. And that's what makes those kind of the travels kind of cheap relative to the big NASA programs for the tourists, or as I mentioned, Soyuz Russian program, which they waste just entire missile, which cost billions of rubles or millions of dollars.
And at this moment, the astronauts have unstrapped from their seats. They are floating. They are weightless.
So yeah, we are losing the altitude. Okay.
She was going to sing in space. I'm waiting for it.
Waiting for it.
She's singing. She promised, so she's singing. Not the best microphone they have probably in a headset. Okay, they're reaching the point of re-entry. Alright guys, I cut this video because it's kind of the long one and we have separately Capsule and the booster descending. It's kind of interesting to see them very close, that close I mean, and going down really fast.
Copy. All astronauts in seat.
And a great piece of news there. All astronauts are back in their seats. You see the two craft now that at the top of the rocket. You see a couple of fins that are...
It's really going very fast, and yeah, like in SpaceX program, this is gonna be the self-landing of this booster.
Popped out. Those are to stabilize the rocket as it comes into land. And then in the last moments,
And there it is. We can see it from the stage.
There comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine.
Oh, wow.
See a sonic boom.
Spoilers.
We're going to hear that shortly here.
It's really awesome.
This is something that had never been done before until just a few years ago. Truly the stuff of science fiction that you're about to watch
Wow.
in just seconds.
You heard it. That's the blast.
Drag
There we
race.
go.
That's very loud. That was very fast as well. Wow, booster touchdown absolutely perfectly.
And booster touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard.
Well, the main part touchdown, let's go for the secondary one.
Mr. Perfect landing.
Just joking. It's a great piece of technology, you know, guys. We can do it in the space already, like humanity can do it. Blue Origin is absolutely nice. Let's watch for the capsule.
Parachutes deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And all three parachutes reefing.
That's hilarious.
And I tell you, Kristen, from having gone through all of the simulations, I have gone through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds, and when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
Because I know, Blue Origin did.
Yeah, it's kind of strange reaction if they were put in simulation before, like in the same capsule that simulates the same sounds and they were explained what to happen, but this, yeah, in real life it could be scary, but yeah, six ladies, they do not hesitate to scream, to spread out their emotions, but agree, it's funny guys, it's really funny.
Is everything they can to make this as safe as possible, and you'll have an impeccable safety record, but it still has to feel really good.
Of the launch pad coming down softly and beautifully.
So instead of landing into the water, they land just on the ground. It's kind of outstanding compared to the other technologies, compared to the SpaceX Starship, but Starship, it is more robust compared to this one because it had to go through the atmosphere all on a very high speed. So itself, the capsule is very big, it's more heavy, so the water is like one more safety option out there.
500 feet.
500. Minimums.
And you will
Landing.
see a puff of smoke when it touches down, a puff of dust.
Actually, yes.
That's normal.
A puff of dust, last milliseconds. Air
Come on.
cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Wow, it looked like not a soft landing, but let's watch it once again. Maybe they have some of the small engines or maybe even powder boosters just before the landing, before the touchdown. They launched everything of that just to minimize the vertical speed. Let's watch it again.
A puff of dust, last milliseconds. Air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very
Air
soft,
cushion, okay,
soft
the same.
landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Yeah. And again, they scream. Scream like hell. Yeah, I would like to try this one, guys, actually. Yeah, even though we spent like less than a minute, I guess, in the space itself, but I think it's very, very interesting, you know. After all, you are in the space, 100 kilometers away from the surface, where all of the other mortals are living. So yeah, this experience is fantastic, and for sure people will pay lots of the money to do the same, to experience the same stuff. I think they didn't pay this time, I mean those travelers, space tourists you may call them, but in the future obviously Blue Origin will charge their customers, I think at least by a few $100,000 each, which potentially could make it one of the cheapest versions of those space travels. But again, you do not spend lots of the time in the space itself compared to the Starship of Elon Musk. I just wonder again why they don't use the cockpit camera out there. Kind of strange. Conspiracy theorists will say that it's all fake, it's all hoax, but I think it is real, and maybe we should ask those ladies because they're very, very happy to achieve their new milestone. She's very happy that she stayed alive there. And yeah, here we go with Katy Perry, and what she holds out there, a flower or what is this? And she is really happy to stay alive as well. Yeah, we screamed a lot. Yeah, this experience was definitely outstanding. Yeah, Katy is getting older. Oh my god, it means that I'm getting older as well. Yeah, time really flies fast, you know, and the older you get, the faster it seems like it is going. It is crazy. Well, at least she managed her new experience in this life. She and other crew members of that ship. It is actually great. I'm very positive about this trip. It is hilarious at some point, and you know guys, I really like space and I like those kind of the programs which are made basically for joy, but they share the awareness about this fantastic experience which we as humans may get. Our ancestors discovered the planet taking huge risks, and it's up to us to discover other boundaries, which are only possible outside of planet Earth. And yeah, I speak like Elon Musk now, but Elon Musk is the crazy psycho. Well, maybe me too, but I'm not as crazy as he is. And I respect Blue Origin more compared to the SpaceX, even though SpaceX also do good job actually. And again, look at those cars, they're all Ford vehicles, Ford freaking vehicles, no Tesla is there. Right guys, it's all what I want to say today. Ciao.